it right that those making under $184,500, their effective payroll tax rate is roughly 12.4%?
That's right. The statutory rate is 6.2%, but consensus view is that the employee pays basically the employer cost is passed on to the employee, and so the employee basically faces a rate of 12.4%.
For anybody earning $104,500. What is the effective payroll tax for someone making $1 million a year?
So they would pay the 12.4% on that first $185,000 roughly, and then would not pay additional tax on labor income above that amount, and so that math would work out to about 2.2%.
Okay, so 12.4% for someone under 184.5. A millionaire would be about 2.2. What if you're a billionaire like Trump or Musk? Your Social Security tax would be effectively, on my understanding,
very, very much smaller.
0.0002. Yes. That just doesn't make sense to me. And when the richest people in the country have the smallest effective tax rate, that does not seem to me like a very fair system, especially when we are now 6 years away from retired workers facing this 24% cut in their Social Security. Is it right that those make
all right, Shalom.
under 100?
First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakadash.
Rate is roughly 12.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Unto like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. And this right here is the most astronomical slap to the face. And she's acting like she's all shocked about it. But people like her and her, they benefit from these things. That's why it's not much of an outcry as, you know, as it's supposed to be. Because that's outrageous that the people who makes less pays the most, which we all know, and the people that makes more pays less, which makes no sense. But this is the system that we was bought into. All right, this is the system that we was told by the people that's higher up is the greatest system in the world. Nothing can top this system. While the very rich of the society, not only do they live properly, they live far greater than everybody else. They find ways of just maintaining that which they have such a fashionable way in everything that they do. And I forgot where I got this info from, but somebody was breaking it down about the taxes and how this guy, Orange Man, his estate Mar-a-Lago, how you put it down as farm, as a farm, get a farm animal, and he don't even pay. I don't even think he paid property taxes. So, and he's the one when he was up talking to Clinton, Hillary Clinton, talking about how they use the system. Both of them, they use the system for their benefit to get away from taxes and so forth. See, while we now learning how these people get down, like I always say to the spirit, the goalposts keep being pushed back. So you playing a game of catch up where you could never catch up too, proving that this is not our rest. It's never been our rest. It's never intended to be our rest. And those that think that they're part of that small club of the 2.2, percent for millionaires, they pay a heftier price because they're not part of the ultimate club. And it's always been like that. See, Jake like to flaunt it when they have it over other Jakes, but they can never flaunt it to Esau. All right? it's like the whole there's a thing information that came out with the people that wear the small hats, how they utilize the welfare system to have the government pay for their houses. Oh, sorry, not houses. Yeah, the homes. And Jake is now getting the information. But when a system that it is right now is dying, you get all the information you want. You can't utilize that. All right, you can't utilize that information. This is information that's been hid from everybody for decades, proving that this whole system was designed to crush you. All right, designed to crush you and destroy you. Micah 2:10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, but this is not your rest." So America has never been our rest. This has never been the end all to be all. All right, for us, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. See, the people are on the outcry because it's happening to them. The same thing that we was going through throughout all these years, different generation, because each generation was told, "You're special." Tell me if I'm lying. You're special. Your generation is gonna change everything. Tell me if I'm lying. And then when you get those of you that grow up and you get to see and experience, you're not that special as you thought you was. Now you may have. Oh, here's another thing. All you people out there that was like, yeah, this person had money from the mad young. They was doing this and that. Back in my time, it was drug dealers. Today's time is scammers. It's still the same thing. All right. The youth movement don't prove anything. The youth movement doesn't change the fact of what this whole system was designed to do. It was designed to crush us as we stand. All right, real quick. Baruch, I'm sorry, not far. Baruch 3. It says, "Behold, we are yet at this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for reproach, a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which depart from the Lord our power." So we're subject to payments. So the exact system that we predicate and try to maneuver in and finally get the understanding of it. And what ended up happening, a lot of Jake just decide, "Nah, I'm gonna keep it to myself," type shit. Even if you told the whole world, it wouldn't change shit because it was always designed to keep you oppressed. So this could never be our rest. This could never be the end all to be all for us, for future generations and so forth. Shit, you can't even own your own property. If you buy a house all the way, you still got to pay property taxes. The property taxes go sky high as the market goes, and that was a way to take away that what you work so hard for, because everybody else is going through it now. Everybody else out here in the streets of America is literally going through what we went through, but far worse. Now there's no outing for them. Okay, so desperate time does what desperate measures. Did the show? I try to put it up. set them apart. But I think I made a mistake. But when women, over 600,000 women, black women, lost their jobs this year, and it's just the beginning. And like one brother put up in there, you know, they were like they like to be called independent and flaunt their shit over their men. But now they eat a humble pie, but that humble pie is not big enough. So this whole notion of making out of this oppression can never happen. The only way we get out of this situation is the system got to be destroyed. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it's polluted." And when you go to the word polluted, I forgot the Hebrew word. I'm not gonna go through it, but it's defiled. The air's polluted. The water's polluted. The food is polluted. All right. The minds of the people, the most important thing, is gone. Is defiled. It shall destroy you, and that thing does destroy you. It's not about the bottom. It's not about the bottom line, the dollar. Everybody's crying about the gas prices, job losses, inflation, and it's just the beginning. But to hear this information, which we already knew, but it's good to hear it. The tax bracket between personnels is truly unfair because who passes the laws? The billionaires. All right? The fucking billionaires. They even showed a chart of all these Congress personnel, and they have the initial um how much they make, like over 100 grand, but they're estimated in the hundreds of millions because the whole shit is corrupted. It says even with a SAR destruction, and that SAR destruction is going to come through ICBM nuclear missiles, because being a part of this evil satanic system is going to get you destroyed. And Jake always try to find an outing. Jake always try to find a way. Nah, I could work this. You can't work this. This is working you. All right. It was just designed to crush you and keep you crushed. So your descendants, when they're born crushed. Shit, we all we all came into this world um with this debt that we never even knew that we owed. It says Daniel 7:25. It says he's it's like, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints. Now I love going to this the Hebrew word. I believe is Nabal, but let me make sure. Yep, to wear away, wear out, to harass constantly, figuratively. Strong definition, correspondence to H1000. But anyway, it says, but use only in the mental sense. To afflict, wear out. So they're wearing the shit out of the saints. Okay? That's why this system is so, it thrives. Uh it needs subjects. It needs sacrificial pawns in order to keep these rich motherfuckers. Let's think about it. If there's the 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 lower class is paying X amount of taxes, and the billionaires don't even see no taxes. There's always a write-off. Then the crushing of the poor, it needs to be. There's always have to have a poor system. This is we call a feudalism system, right? So for the rich people to live a safe life, and to be diabolical and have time in their hand, they had to create a interesting system that to this day people are fighting to maintain that system, unbeknownst unto them. All right, and what I mean they're trying to fight it, they're trying to fight to maintain it because that's all they knew. That's all you ever knew known is what they presented to you, and what they presented was wasn't a way out. It was a way to remain in. That's why when we come and tell the truth about the whole matter, and others say it, people have a hard time to understand it. Yeah, they finally getting it somewhat, but they still are fighting to maintain that which it was already. It says Ecclesiastes 12:3. Can you imagine? You're in a prison, and then your whole objective is to get out the prison, but you just maintain to staying within the prison. And that's what that's everybody. They stay in that prison state. We need to get the fuck out of here. All right. For the for the whole world's sake, this experience, this experience, sorry, this scientific uh, um actual living, meaning the science project, the rat utopia, it gotta go. It gotta go. All right, this whole shit gotta go. Matter of fact, let me just go into this real quick. Revelation 18:4. Matter of fact, I saw that 3. For all the nations have drunken of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Talking about Babylon the Great. All right, they're all drunk of the same thing because at the end of the day, when it's about the bottom currency, I'll say that because the dollar was strong for a period of time, but the dollar is not the universal money. Gold, silver is. All right, and it says so. All these nations benefited from doing business with America, but it comes with a cost. And it says, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. So, what is fornication? It's spiritual adultery. Hey, even these other nations pick up the ways of this world. Oh, sorry, of America. Now, the other nations don't worship the Most High nor His Son. They have their own gods, but they'll set aside their gods, their traditions, and so forth to appease this bitch and this system. You always got to look at China, Japan, the Far East, because that's, according to the world, the longest um, or the oldest society in the world because they have some sort of uh, maintenance of the old world, and yet they still find themselves addressing, according, um, doing the same thing as these people, Esau, the so-called white man, does, because they bought into the system. All right, and it says, with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed through the abundance of her delicacy. And for the first time in a long time, America finally understand that all your goods don't come from planes, or mainly your goods don't is not created here. Your goods, damn near all your goods, is made overseas, and people are finally realizing it could have been done here, but it was all about the bottom dollar. While these billionaires is making you sold, if they're paying point 0.002, and that's here, how much you think they paying if they have their businesses elsewhere with no restriction, age restriction, so forth? And they're eating lovely, and all these merchant marines, and uh, these big companies, their whole thing is to transport goods from one side of the world to the other side of the world. And now we finally see how important that is. Without that revenue, nothing would be filled up here. Period. So became very extremely rich. They don't give a damn about anything. And it says that I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people." So that's twofold. All right. Physically, the Lord is going to remove us from this place. But before he removes us, we have to have a different mindset. Every day of our life, we have to lessen ourselves from the things of this world, because the things of this world is dying out. All right. We're about to lose all access to a whole bunch of things that we have, all the privileges that we had, not the God given rights. We lost that long ago. And those of us that comes in His truth, now we receive the God given rights, which is the most important rights in period. But things of this world is being removed fastly, quickly. All right. It says that you be not partakers of her sins, which her sins, which is going to equal to her set destruction. And this is why everybody's feeling that pain. All right, except for the elect is feeling it, but the elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai understand the mission. You know, before it was shit. You gotta just deal with it. Things is all right. Everybody's happy. Now things are switching up quick. Things are going to our favor. All right, us hopeful elect. The Lord is switching things up, because the people that's a part of this world will lose everything. And we'll lose, but we just gain more. You know, and it says, and that you receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she's rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So all the shit, all the evil that has been conducted to us, and oh, there's so much shit that these people have done. It's it's overwhelming information. And despite they try to hide it, despite they try to remove it from history, we're like the last ones, right? Truly, we're like the last ones to see all the decades of technology on the rise, and technology that made the people dumb. And the information that was out there, we knew from it, we learned from it, because the youth, the next generation, they're screwed. They're screwed. So everything that we have known, we're literally eyewitnesses. We're in witness protection program. All right, we are literally in witness protection program, And the Lord allowed us to see everything. Matter of fact, hold on. I love bringing this out. Hold on, what's the other one? There you are. Jeremiah 50, no, not 50, sorry, 51 and 24. It says, I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of the Chaldee, which Babylon the Great is America. The Chaldee is the illuminated ones, right? It says, all their evils that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith the Lord. So here we are. We in the mix. We see with our own eyes the evil they have done. The Lord said He's going to allow us to, because we're witnesses. Okay, we're literal witness to see the wickedness of this society. How the wealth gap has truly crushed everything. Everyone is unfair on all facets of level, and you be punished the most harshest punishment because you don't have the exact amount as the next person have. So there's no justice, there's no balance. All right. I'm gonna read NLT. It says, I will repay Babylon and the people of Babylonia for all the wrong they have done to my people in Jerusalem, saith the Lord. All right. So the Lord is gonna pay them back for what they have done. And we're here, we're witnesses. That's why the Lord said, do double unto her, double according to her works. All right. It's not, oh, they slap you in the face one time. Nah, they slapped you, they poisoned you, they ripped you off, they destroyed your family structure, destroyed your mindset. They did a whole bunch of shit. So that's why we always angry, because it's like, how long these people gonna get away with this? And now everybody else is crying the same thing because they see how unfair this is. Even the average person now, Proverbs 29:2, they mourning, and they calling for the downfall of this place. All right. Now when the average Edomite is crying about this place of their precious land that they claim that's their homeland. There's a problem. It says, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. Yeah. And the glorifying is the celebration, the constant celebration. All right. The constant um putting Jake's business out there, the shame, that's what I was looking for. The constant shame that they put upon themselves, and they glorified themselves through it. Okay. And they lived deliciously. They live in luxuriously. That's how they maintain their luxurious lifestyle, by sucking up, eating up the poor. It tells you, I'm just going to quote it. Sirach, the 13th chapter. How the rich um, basically feeds off the poor. Psalms, the 10th chapter, tells you how the rich of this world hunts down the poor. All right. That is the name of the game. So much torment and sorrow give her. So when people lose it, they're gonna lose it. And this is before the destruction. People are gonna tear this place apart. And when you realize, like there's a TV show, I didn't get to finish it, called Paradise, and the wealth gap of the paradise of that show, showing the aftermath of a catastrophic event, and only the selected few that made it because their wealth. Then it angers you. It's like, wait a minute, you did all this shit to us in the world, and yet you still have an escape route from that set judgment. Nah, we're gonna have to get you. It said, for she have said in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow that shall see no sorrow. And that's the mindset of America. That nothing ever as bad is gonna happen. It's gonna maintain. Matter of fact, the elites is saying that we're gonna tear down the system that the average person has. And that's why more and more videos are popping up, information popping up that people's electric bill, water bill is damn near like a mortgage. And why? Because of the data synthesis that they have. So the very essence to keep that privilege alive is poisoning and destroying the very people. So they don't give a damn about anything or anyone. So the elites is pulling the plug onto this whole utopia, this mice utopia that they created. And there's nothing anybody can say or do about it. That's what they think. But here comes a great equalizer. It says, therefore shall her plagues come up in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord, the God who judge her. So in 1 hour, all these riches, in 1 hour, all these privileges, in 1 hour, all this endless gluttonous behavior gone, taken away. Why? Because of the plagues that the Lord is going to bring, the great equalizer. They're going to go from riches to rags within an hour. And to Wadi Yahabashim Yahushai. So with that being said, Shalom to the elect of the nation. Shalom.